The US economy grew 2.3% last year. Sounds healthy, right? Here's the problem. Strip out AI and tech spending, and the other 89% of the economy grew just 1%, with zero net job creation. That is not growth. That is a stealth recession hiding behind a tech boom. Wall Street veteran Jim Paulsen, who spent 40 years as Chief Investment Strategist at Leuthold Group, just published an analysis that should worry everyone. He found that new era spending, meaning AI-related business investment, surged 14% in 2025. That is 2.5 times faster than everything else in the economy combined. And that everything else, it is barely breathing. Think about what that means. 89% of private sector activity, the part that includes your job, your local businesses, the restaurants you eat at, the stores you shop at, that part of the economy is essentially flatlined. Consumer confidence just hit its lowest level in over 12 years, according to the Conference Board. People feel it even if the headline GDP number says everything is fine. Paulsen put it perfectly. Quote, "Technology may be the tail wagging the dog, but the rest is a recession by any other name." End quote. So where is all the growth actually coming from? AI infrastructure. The top 5 hyperscalers, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Meta, and Oracle, are collectively spending close to $700 billion this year on AI data centers, chips, and cloud infrastructure. That is up from about $440 billion last year. Some estimates say total AI spending across the entire economy could hit $1 trillion by 2027 or 2028. That spending is real. It creates construction jobs. It drives semiconductor demand. It boosts utility companies powering these massive data centers. But here's the catch. It is incredibly concentrated. A handful of companies are spending hundreds of billions, while the rest of corporate America is pulling back. And this shows up perfectly in the stock market. The Magnificent Seven, the mega-cap tech names, drove almost all of the S&P 500's gains over the last 2 years. But in 2026, something interesting is happening. The Mag 7 are actually down 5% year-to-date, while the other 493 stocks are finally outperforming. The market is starting to price in this bifurcation. So what does this mean for your money? If you're invested in traditional consumer-facing sectors, retail, regional banks, housing-related stocks, understand that their customers are living in a recessionary environment. Spending is tight, confidence is shot. Job creation outside of tech is basically zero. On the flip side, AI infrastructure names still have the bull case. Companies like Broadcom, Nvidia, TSMC, and the hyperscalers themselves are operating in what feels like a completely different economy. Their revenue is surging while Main Street struggles. The big risk here is what happens if AI spending slows down or disappoints. If the only engine keeping GDP positive stalls out, there is nothing underneath to catch it. We would go from a stealth recession to a real one very quickly. Paulsen's analysis is a wake-up call. The economy is not what the headline number tells you. It is 2 economies running at completely different speeds. And which one you are exposed to, either as a worker or an investor, matters more right now than it has in decades. Drop a comment with your take. Are we already in a recession and just not admitting it? Hit subscribe and turn on notifications because this situation is developing fast. Not financial advice.